Hello, I'm Stella Hiroki. I'm from Brazil. Thank you, Vicky, for the invitation that I can share my research here in Dublin with you. Because I was at the last Pyladies meetup at the call for action. Because I was looking for some interviewers for my research. So tonight we're going to discuss this women, tech, and power aspects, how they impact a smart city. So my research is started in Brazil at São Paulo, and I'm here as a visiting PhD student at Maynooth University, and I'm researching inside the Programmable City Lab. And after I can share more information about the research, about how we were working and researching about smart cities. And I always start with this image because I think that it's really important for us to keep an eye on it. Could you see there is just one woman here? Just Mary Curie here? Because before I came here, I'm just here for 4 months. And in Brazil, people asked me to make some lectures about smart people inside smart cities. Because when we talk about smart cities, people kind of forget that it's necessary people inside cities. That's not just technology or big cities. So I really think that's really interesting because this picture is from 1926. It's not that 100 years. And there was just one woman in the quantum physics conference in Belgium. And with her, there is Einstein, Bohr, Planck, Schrödinger, and just Marie Curie. And there is a lot of women that could be in the same picture. So please keep an eye on it, and let's gonna talk now about how this is really impacting in our lives and our relation with technology. So why did I choose to talk about power aspects inside cities? Because one thing, firstly is my background is not in technology or computer science. My background is in media studies. And after I did my master's degree in Brazil too, about fashion and social networking, so I was really interested about behavior, how technology is changing our behavior. So after for my PhD, I decided to study cities. And when I arrived here in Ireland, my advisor asked me to interview software developers to understand what is passing inside the software developers' mind, what they were planning to do for our cities. And so at the beginning, I was thinking that I'm gonna really research about technical steps, how software developers, they create their own career, because there is no a proper college for software developers, university, but they have to have a self-education to learn and to develop apps. But at the moment that I start to interview the software developers, I discovered that there is a huge gap for women to put their own point of view inside tech projects and mainly inside tech workplaces. So I came with this topic about minority. What is the question of minority? Because sometimes when we read the journals and we read some articles about women, they say that women is minority, but it's a question of it's not a question of quantity. Minority in this case is not a question of quantity, but it's a question of power. How power is working inside our societies. So this map is really interesting. After I can send you the graphics, because this map, it measures how is the proportion about men and women in each country. So as you can see, in 2050, 81 countries has a majority of women. So we women, we're not minority, okay? So take out this idea. So it's a pressure of power from the dominant classes to say that women or marginalized people, we are minority, but actually we are not. in Ireland, you can see that there is a balance. So it's 50-50, 50 women, 50 men. So how this is impacting our way how to create projects, how we're working with technology. So as you can see, just in 36 countries, the majority is men, and 75 are with like the split with half and a half in gender parity. So in mainly of the countries, women are not minority. And after you can check this graphic, each country, you can check how is the percentage. It's really interesting that. So, because I'm Brazilian, and when we are outside of our countries, we are kind of more proud of our hometown and our places. And because I was doing my PhD here in Manu, I had to bring some ideas from Brazil. So I'd like to show you like this women architecture, because mainly when we talk about Brazilian architecture, mainly people love to talk about Oscar Niemeyer, that he thought about Brasilia, our capital. But I really like this, the work of this woman. She was born in Italy, but she chose Brazil as her home place. And based on this image, could you say something for me? Like there is something strange, right? In this image, no? Like you can see like
it's horizontal rather than vertical.
What?
It's horizontal rather than vertical.
Yes, and you can tell me what this is feeling for you, what kind of feeling you have when you see this?
The colour in it compared to the other buildings, it's got red, the other one's white.
She's making her mark.
Yes, too, and also when you see like we can forget a little bit like the horizontal, but when you see like this, what it seems like?
Oh, nice. It's different way of thinking to the other design.
Yes. Completely different way of thinking. What else?
Disrupting the order.
Disrupting the order, yeah, really disruptive.
Breaking the mainstream. Breaking the normal.
The lines.
It's taking up more ground space than the rest of it.
I don't know, some of you have ever saw this building before? Okay, great. So please, when you're gonna visit me in São Paulo, please go there and visit, because this is the Museum of Art, Modern Art. So even me, when I started to research about smart cities, I didn't know about this, and when I discovered it, when they told me, I was like, God damn it, like I can't imagine this. As you can see, and as you told me about the imaging, you can see that these buildings, and mainly of the skylines of the cities around the world, it's a phallic racing. It's a phallic racing to show which building is bigger, right? Like what architecture is gonna build the biggest and phallic and vertical building? And mainly they say that, okay, yeah, we are really concerned about like people comfortable, if people are having a really nice place to work and to live, but it's usually like, what is the highest building? What is the highest tower in the world, like Donald Trump Tower and things like that? So this is really interesting, and I'm really proud that she worked in Brazil, because Dina Bobardi, she was really interesting to give people a more comfortable place to live, where people could go and share their lives and their activities inside cities. So when she developed this building, she thought at the same time, because this is an empty spacing, so when you arrive here, you could like have a view from the city. You could see like the skyline from São Paulo. But what happened? They just built a lot of buildings here, and they closed what she thought about the view. But after, you can have a look at her job, that mainly of the projects that she did was always to give for marginalized people a way for them to express themselves. And mainly because of us, because we are from South American countries, we have big pressures between classes. So because this building is in downtown, she was really concerned to give like a space where everyone could meet, you know, a place that doesn't matter what class you were born, you just have the chance and you have like the opportunity to enjoy your city, you know. So I think that this is really interesting to pay attention in the places where we live, and also many times like monuments and streets, named streets, they make a reference for men and not for women. You can see like there is really hard to find monuments that they show an important character from our history. And even here, like I was saying this at my university, that here in Dublin, a woman that I found a Nesta to was Molly Maloney, but she was really sexualized sculpture of her. And this is really like, you know, you think about it like why they did this, you know.
There's another one. There's Countess Margaret Beach. There's a statue of her. She's a famous Irish rebel. So we have a statue to within the city. And it's not sexualized, no. It shows with a dog. She's got a dog, so she's an Irish hero.
Great. But there is others, like compared to other men's monuments.
There's probably more to men. Yeah, that's true.
When we look at all the bridges, there's one bridge in Dublin named after a woman.
That's really
Or
great.
not, maybe not named after men. But
Yeah. So we keep, it's really good like to make this thinking, you know, to keep paying attention about it. Because many times we just cross the places, we just cross our cities, that's ours, and we don't think about these references. And this makes like the places be more comfortable and more welcome for women and for everyone.